Coach Scott.
Chad, so Neil just talked about it. Wasn't real pleased with the way the wide receivers and running backs played this past week. So what'd you see out of them? What can they do better?
Make people miss and break tackles, get yards out the contact, have some explosive plays on top of it. Those are things we talk about. There's talent equal your production. Those are 4 ways you produce as a guy with the ball in his hands. You make miss, break tackles, get yards out the contact, or explosive plays. So we got to do a better job of getting yards beyond what the guys up front block.
Can you do that in a week?
Absolutely, and we've done it. We've done it. We've done it all the time. They just, they got to do a great job of, just got to be consistent. We've done it. We've been doing that consistently over the past couple of years, and CJ had a great, phenomenal run in the first half where he got 10 yards out the contact. That's what he's capable of. You got to play that way all the time. Got to be consistent.
So it's more about challenging than it is practicing it.
Yeah.
Is there a sense of pride in an offense being able to win these ugly games?
It really is, because honestly in the past, we've done a good job, sadly, of finding a way not to win those games in the past, right? And honestly, when I always look at it as if when good teams come together at times when you get these games like this, they're not always pretty and they're ugly, but you find a way to come out on top. And like I say, in the past, we've done too good of a job finding ways to not come out on top in those games. So to see the guys rally around and, play good, not necessarily complimentary football, but just do a great job backing each other, offense, defense, special teams, and to be able to come out with a win was a great thing to see for us.
What do you think caused CJ maybe to struggle a little bit in the second half against Texas Tech?
Yeah, he didn't, and he's like he said, get out to a good start. That first drive, I think it was first, second drive. Get out to a good start. He's just got to keep it going. He's got to keep it going. There's no excuses. He got to keep it going. Get out to a great start. Got to keep it going. I got to do a great job of keeping him going. But with those guys up front, it's a great offense line up front. It all starts with those guys, and the way those guys are blocking, there's no reason not to be able to go out there and play an elite level all the time.
Is that maybe another step for him in the process of learning how to be a running back? He's now fighting through that deal of carries accumulating, physical game after physical game, all that stuff's
it really is. It's learning. It's a learning deal for him. It's funny today. Him and DJ Oliver was joking about. He said, "Man, I'm gonna let you. Hey, when you get a chance, you see what it's like. Take some of them short yardage plays. But it is a culmination of, the contact and the consistent hits. You know what I mean? And so that's something he got to do a great job taking care of his body throughout the week. And also, he's got to do a great job. The other guys got to do a great job, too, when they're in the game. We rotate a couple guys in there. They got to do a great job of, being productive and taking care of each other. So, one guy doesn't have to carry the load consistently.
How do you think Nico handled being the guy?
I thought he handled it really well. I'm pretty sure he'll tell you he didn't have his best day, but he found a way to win, and that's all that matters. You find a way you learn from it. It's lesson to be learned. And, the best thing about it, I talked about Friday, those guys having a win the next play mentality. So that means, whatever happened the previous play, you got to let it go. And then we got to play the next play. And regardless of the outcome of the previous play, whether it was good or bad for him, I thought he came out the next play and had a, clear mindset and went out and had a win the next play mentality. And so I thought he did a good job of, in the end, helping us win that ball game.
Has he got enough of a sample size with the playing the vast majority of the Pitt game and then winning the Texas Tech game where you start to feel more comfortable, giving him a little bit more than just, manage things, rely on the guys around you? Is he getting to that point?
He is, because, we went into the game plan. I said this to you guys last week, the previous 2 times where he played a significant amount of time, were both times where he had no idea it was going to happen with Garrett injury in the last game of the year last year and the other game the other day. But this was the first time where he had an entire week to prepare for it. He knew he was going to start and knew he was going to be the guy. I thought he handled it really well. But then there was times in games where guys didn't make plays for him. We didn't make plays at the running back spot for him. We didn't make plays at the receiver spot for him. And, and they guys responded and they did really well. And times we got behind the chains or, we didn't execute as well. And then we kind of had to stray off game plan a little bit and, do some things that can allow us to get a, favorable down situation or get the first down. And he didn't fret, man. He handled it really well and went out there and made plays. And I thought at times he did a good job making good decisions where he pulled the ball down and ran, extended the play, and gave us another opportunity to snap the ball again.
Cole's got a touchdown in the red zone
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
What have the tight ends meant to the red zone success?
Huge, man, huge. Listen, any kind of success those guys can have downfield in the red zone, any kind of success the receivers can have, it allows our offense to be able to open up and for you guys to be able to see exactly what it is we got. So that's why we need, having Cole down there as a big red zone threat. We can clear the box. Right now, those box numbers are heavy in the run game, and so having that kind of that kind of threat, that kind of option, man, it kind of allows defenses, forces defenses to play us honest and not stack the box and just stop the run game.
You guys would like more explosive plays.
No question.
How much can you scheme that, or how much is that just player organically driven?
It's both. It's both, and you can scheme it. But even when you scheme it, right? Even when you scheme it in those one-on-one situations, guys got to make those plays. You're not going to necessarily. Even when you scheme plays, you're not just going to have guys just running scot-free unless they blow a coverage. And at times you try to, confuse them a little bit where you can get a blown coverage possibly. Even on the Cole touchdown, it wasn't necessarily just we knew with that concept and to the boundary we ran, it would be a mix-up in coverage, which is why he was wide open. So you can get some of those at times where you can try to cause some coverage confusion where you get guys scot-free. But otherwise, you call plays where you're getting that player one-on-one, a mismatch, and they got to capitalize on that opportunity to make the play. And, Nico made some good throws for some guys the other day, and they didn't make those catches for him. And it was time where the backs were in one-on-one situation. We need those guys to be able to make a play, make that guy miss and go hit the big one. But we definitely got to be more explosive.
Is it a matter of getting the right guy in that? Because there were a couple screen passes that were blocked that were
Exactly right, both. And we talked about that again today. And that's the thing we've been discussing since spring football. I've always discussed with the running backs. It does your talent equal your production? And we explain what the production is. Make them miss, break tackle, yards out of contact, or explosive play. But you're absolutely right. It's about getting the right guys in the situations to be able to make those plays.
How important was it to get a kid like Rodney Gallagher a positive play to help him feel like he's part of it?
That was huge. And it was a heck of a play, too. It was a really heck of a play. And that's what I'm talking about, right? So that was a play where, at first, it was a scheme play for him, right? One you hope to be an explosive play. And on first contact, it was not an explosive play. He got stuffed by the safety maybe 5-6 yards, right? But then you put the ball in the hands of a player, and all of a sudden that player makes a play. He turned that play into an explosive. So that was a play call that was schemed to hopefully, trick the defense, get him to go to one side of the field, and we reverse and catch them off guard. And it did for some and didn't do it for a lot of other ones. But he made a play and turned it to an explosive play. So you're exactly right. That did a lot for his confidence. He was excited and he created some more opportunities for himself too.
Chad, you also said Jaheim, a lot of talent, just didn't practice very well last week.
He didn't, and then he had some minimal mistakes toward the end of the week last week. That sometimes just when you get so close to the game, in fact he had one on Saturday morning, another walkthrough. It just kind of sometimes make you nervous. Is he focused? Is he ready? Is his mental's all there, whatnot, and so, but we're gonna be a lot more intentional. I'm gonna be a lot more intentional. I told him this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday he got to come see me every day for open hours. We're gonna make sure he understands the game plan because what I want to do is I want to get him in the game beyond just touches. I just want to get him in the game and let him play ball, where he knows the protection and understands what he's looking at, and he can pick it up. Just more so just understanding what he's looking at and having the confidence to go out there and do it. So he's going to come see me more this week outside of required time, so we can just put him out there and let him play ball because he's gifted with the ball in his hand just like Rodney.
On that same note, Coach mentioned that Devin Carter had his grandma pass away recently,
that's
and that
tough.
might have affected how he played because it was an off day for him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you as a coach figure out a way to obviously respect a kid going through something, but make sure that his head is still in it because you do still need him on the field?
Yeah, we just got to be there for him like we were. We were there for him in every way. Myself, Coach Brown, everybody on the offense, Coach Marshall. We just got to be there for him. That stuff happens at time. That's tough. We got.
You think it got to him a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. And he was emotional on the sideline, and I think Coach Marshall took him out at that particular time where he got emotional about it. So he did the right thing, getting him out of there.
I ask you, are you aware that you've won 5 of your last 7 games going back to last year?
I'm not aware of that. I am now. So 5 of the last 7.
5 of the last 7. Your starting center wasn't aware of that. I think that's kind of slipped by. And you beat Oklahoma during that stretch. You
Yeah.
beat Oklahoma State during that stretch. You played Penn State. So you're not like playing a bunch of soft teams.
No, we're not. And I tell you, and probably because we don't remember that, we'll talk about, man, playing the next game. The most important game is the one that's ahead of us, and that's probably why we don't remember. We do remember that we taking care of these 3 home games at home and got 3 tough, really good wins for us that, put us in a good position moving forward.
Well, it's demonstrating that this team is beginning to gel a little bit
Yeah.
and beginning to get a little more confident. You sense that?
I do sense that, and I tell you, man, it always starts with those guys up front. I spoke on the whole offense today. I'm pretty sure Coach Brown spoke on you guys about, you got Zach Frazier won the offensive lineman of the week, and Wyatt Milo for the first time since I've been here. Might be one of the first time anywhere I've coached where an offensive lineman won the offensive player of the week. I mean, that's big time. And I told the whole offense that. So those guys, but they press at the elite level all the time, and so it's a consistent challenge, a constant challenge to all the guys, receivers, running backs, quarterbacks to practice and play at the level that those guys do it.
I know he's a baseball player, but when did you realize that Traylon Ray could pass? And is it tough are you worried when you ask a true freshman to make that play?
Not at all, man. And that's the thing that, myself and a lot of us coaches got to do a great job. Them guys talented. We recruited them for a reason, man. So, you got to, like I said, spend a lot more time with them outside of required time to make sure they're comfortable with the tough things. We know if you throw the ball to him, he can catch it and do something with it. Hand it to him, he can run it and do something with it. It's the things like the blocking and that kind of stuff. But we knew that back in fall camp. We asked all the guys, if you feel like you can throw, you think you can throw, stay behind practice and throw the ball. And crazy enough, probably the 2 most talented guys throwing the football was Traylon, being one, and Jaheim White. He's southpaw. He left-handed guy. But so we knew then, and we've been working on that play. Called it Denver because Cole's from Colorado. Glad it worked out. I hate that happened to him, how he got tackled and whatnot. But we knew back in fall camp.
If it had been a helicopter coming out there, that would have been it, though, right?
Oh, man, no doubt. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Find a few guys that just can't throw it all.
Sometimes that happens in the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anything else for Coach Scott?
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you all.
very much.